Right, hopefully my mic is better balanced now and we can actually hear the mic over the game. Had a bit of a problem the other day with MechWarrior. Got the audio way too loud compared to everything else. There we go. Right. So that's that part of the expedition done. What have I got left to do? So got the glitches. Okay, more blueprints. Right. Phase 2. Second waste heap I need to reach. And I need to do another 5. Ah, there we go. Got that one. Let's see what we got. Not really worth it. Most of this material will not make it back to the main game, because obviously I'll either sell it or break it down into scrap or nanites. Fishers. Might well take those back. A couple of these I don't actually have many of. Right. So the next bit more of the same. Get to Rendezvous 2. Right, so the next question is where the bloody hell's Rendezvous 2? Reach the second waste heap. Would you like to give me any sign of where that is? Alright, let's get to an elevated position. Hopefully I can see where the bloody hell I'm meant to be going. Alright, there we go. We have the salvage plant. No. Does not want to give me a hint as to where the bloody hell to go. That's very helpful. Right. May as well grab the pyrite while I'm here. Right. Aha! We have a different waste heap. This expedition hasn't exactly been one of the classics. trapped in a slow moving vehicle, no way to get off planet, and doing basically fetch quests. I suppose it's a nice addition for the Colossus, but unfortunately they're not actually going to start introducing the waste into more planets as well as grinding resources and possibly nanites. It's not really going to be that useful. Oh, I spotted. Is that nearby? No, it's probably off planet. Never mind. It's quite a ways. Not over. No, I don't think it's over the mountain. I think it might be this side of the mountain. So one thing I hate about No Man's Sky, there's an awful lot of smoke and mirrors involved. You can circle an area in a big circle, literally just pick a point, go around in a very large circle, and if the circle's big enough, on your second pass through the same landmarks, you'll see different features and different structures will have warped in and appeared. So it's a bit weird. Some things actually do persist at the same locations, usually things like the Atlas monuments, but other things are basically just spawned temporarily for your game instance, and that's it. Right, can we get any special waste on the way? Still can't believe that the special waste we need to collect is per waste heap. At least if I can get this done and finished, I can actually get back to my main game. Sadly, the first time round I made the mistake of deciding not to go to the other universes, so I'm now stuck with getting to the centre of the galaxy. So yeah, that's going to take a while, but at least I've got a decent set of ships and freight to get there. I know that there are some quite cool modifications you can get for the Colossus in terms of the various propulsion mods and various other things cosmetically. In fact, let's just have a quick scan. So that's over there. Do we have any? Got that there. Sadly, don't appear to have any. No. Don't have any customization parts or freighter parts anywhere near to go and visit on the way. Oh, that's weird. Just run somebody over and flame them at the same time. The other thing is, I don't know if anybody else has tried this in No Man's Sky. If you go to a freighter after a freighter battle, all the freighters are instanced to your local game. So if there's a freighter battle, whilst 3 of you can actually visit the same freighter battle site, the actual freighter instance will be unique to you and will have a different rarity to everybody else that visits. I was lucky enough to manage to find an S-Class freighter, but unfortunately couldn't afford it. So I advertised in local chat and a couple of people came to have a look, and it was C or B class for them. So this is running me about smoke and mirrors. I'm hoping Light No Fire actually takes the skeleton that No Man's Sky built in terms of actually getting the aesthetics right, and actually builds up some more detailed persistent game systems rather than having everything just basically pop in and the game effectively just being an instanced grindathon for materials. Would be nice if actually we did get some persistent stuff, even if they had to make some stuff that was actually just persistent to the group for a short period of time, like instance dungeons. Because really there's only the only things that are persistent are your bases, and even then you are limited in what you can do and how you can interact. So I do like what I saw of the Light No Fire demo. Haven't really looked much at any of the other videos that have come out. I'd rather wait and see the final release and then make my own judgment. Oh, a few more cylinders, that'll do. Who needs life support anyway? Right. Right. Would be nice if they somehow introduced some of this into the derelict freighters. So actually, in some of the freighters, it's not actually the aliens or other things that have killed the crew, but they've had some kind of accident with waste of some form, and you actually have to go in and clean it up using add-ons to your ship. But that would then mean you could have specialist ships that you've outfitted for waste disposal, which would give a little bit of variety. The other thing I'd really love to see is actual dedicated Corvette storage, Corvette part storage. I'm having to basically use the overflow in the hangar, the thing that is there to catch parts when you dismantle the ships, as my parts storage, because all of my other storage in my bases are completely full. Right, there's one there. I think I could get away with taking one of these. No. Anything else? Nothing else that looks terribly worth it. I think for a giggle I'm going to take that wheel. Right, so is it going to take me back to the same waste station, or is it going to give me a new one? What a shock. Oh no, it's actually given me a new one. Oh god, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, it's... Come on. There we go. Last thing I want is now to spread all the cargo all over the planet again. Let's get to a flat bit before I try traversing. The reason I put the tower on the back just basically is to give me an idea of the angle of the terrain. Make it a bit easier to judge when things are tilting too far, so I can actually stop and reorient the Colossus. I'd rather lose a tyre off the back than lose all of the stuff. Good demonstration there. Rather lose that than leave things all over the landscape. Right. That seems to be at a closer distance. Oh crap. Right, come here. Come here. Oh no you don't, you bugger. Right. Actually, let's get out. 11 minutes. 15. Oh, there is one closer. Right, so... This is what I mean about the fetch quest. It really is a case of go to a heap, pick up waste, ferry it across difficult terrain to the processing plant, rinse and repeat. This is effectively just busy work, which is why this is hardly a brilliant addition to the game. Might be quick and easy for them to implement, but I'd rather they spend the time crafting things like the Halloween expedition or the archaeology expedition, things that actually impact the game in the longer term and are actually a great deal more varied to actually undertake while you're actually doing it, rather than just doing the same things over and over. I would also prefer, I know it's going to be extra work, if they actually made a lot of the expedition tasks a little bit less feel as though they have just rolled a number of random dice and stuck them together with a few things sprinkled in, and actually tried to make things better themed throughout the whole of the expedition. The archaeology one was actually good because you had to basically go and get different types of fossils and then build different types of skeletons, so it actually kept you looking for different types all the way through the expedition, while sprinkling a few other things at each stage. So that actually was really nice. Corvette expedition was really good fun, just because the flexibility of the construction system. That's not one of my wheels I've lost. Right. Let's keep going this way. Said it was quite a lot closer. I'm nearly to the end of this hill, so it should just be over this crest. We shall see. This is what I mean, because when I started this expedition, and that was the first recycling. Oh crap! Come here. No, you don't. So when I was at the first recycling station, basically there was no... Oh, come here, you bugger. There was no second recycling plant on the other side of the valley. And yet now, there's no second one that's appeared in close proximity. It's a great deal of smoke and mirrors involved with this game. There may be some mathematical models and things like the generation of the local terrain topology that get shared, but then other things like the weather are not synced between instances. Plenty of instances where I've been playing with friends and a weather front swoops in at different times from different directions and lasts for different amounts of time, even if we're all in the same local area. So yeah, it looks pretty, but actually the initial game was, I think, fairly well met the definition of as wide as an ocean, as deep as a puddle. And since then they've actually started putting the mechanisms in to actually add to that. Yeah, that definitely was not there. Let's quickly avoid the boxes. That second recycling station was definitely not there. Crap. It's a good job it is a full stop. Right, let's have that. Pop that back in. Right, I think the only things back up here are the two crappy. Let's just double check. Yeah, there's those, and what the hell is... it's just that part, right, okay. That's easy enough. Shouldn't be too hard to get over there, famous last words. If you've been having problems moving it in a controlled manner, just dab the accelerator. You seem to end up much more controlled. You get less jolting of the cargo, and you still be able to actually control where you're going with less cargo falling off the sides. Yeah, so we have new location here. Now, it's entirely possible that the game does actually use some kind of same phasing technology that World of Warcraft introduced in one of the expansions, where people at different stages of the quests can see different parts of the landscape revealed or not revealed depending on what's going on around them. That was quite revolutionary when it was introduced. I'm not sure to the extent that that is actually the case here. So things like this second waypoint, obviously other people have been directed to the same location from the fact that there are bases and things actually around it, and yet this was most definitely not just down the hill from the other station when I was at an early stage of the expedition. In fact, given that that's actually the thing to summon the exocraft, it's entirely possible that somebody else got this one as their first location and I got the one up the hill. It could just be a case of there are a number of locations mathematically seeded and it just picks at random for each stage of the expedition. Crap, that's the wrong one. Nearly ended up going badly. Let's do the easy ones first. go. Oh, there we go. Can I get it from here? Oh, bugger, not quite. Come here. Right. Trying to complete. Is it going to give me the handling mod? So I think this is going to have to be the last thing I do tonight. Let's repackage those up. Fuel I couldn't give two hoots about, so I'll leave the top speed one there for now, see what else I get. Top speed. Top speed, alright, let's get rid of that one. That did so much. Really want to get the other grip and handling mods. Big problem is that we don't have access to the materials to build them. And none of the geodes or anything else picked up along the way seem to allow you to get those, so I'm presuming the later phase of the expedition will let you get those. Right, what else have we got? Cyclops plans, there we go. Oh, thank God for that. An actual functional exosuit scanner. That I don't object to. That is a worthwhile worthwhile addition to the game. One hermetic seal coming up. Right, let's just refill that. There we go. Yes, so the part of the expedition done. Right, if that's not going to let me do it, I will just use the one that somebody's placed. Right, let's customise the heck out of this. Right, chassis, running gear, paint, no, can't do that. Oh, that is such an improvement. Absolutely massive, that is. Interesting though that the other recycling station has vanished again. Right, I can find somewhere to park up. Don't think there's going to be anything particularly interesting. Oh. Well, if it's going to insist. Now that's going to be a problem. What happens if you've already scanned all the creatures on the planet? That is a massive oversight by the devs. Unless there are going to be creatures that only spawn in when you've got access to this, you could soft lock yourself into being unable to complete the expedition. Right, fortunately, it's actually been programmed to avoid that because I've only scanned one thing. So good job to the devs for caching that one. Interested to see whether or not I get Corvette parts, whether or not I get customization parts for the Colossus. Death to all squiddies as I go straight through it. Right, let's have a look. Oh, this is a 3. Good. Oh crap, it's just going to give me more and more bloody scrap, isn't it? Oh no, we got Titan Wing. What else did we get? Did we just get the one? Let's got the sodium here. Let's get rid of the scrap. Yes, that was a silly thing to do, never mind. Right, anyway, I think that's about as good a place to leave it for the night as any other. I will just get to the top of this mountain and then leave it for the night. Then I can test the audio balance on the video. Fingers crossed it's a little better. Should hopefully be able to hear my voice over the audio so you can actually hear what's going on. Then it'll be a case of tweaking things up and down to find a hopefully good balance that works for the rest of the games. Right, there we go. If you've got any thoughts or comments on other games that you want me to see me play, whether it's type of games or particular games, if I've got them in my Steam library, I'll certainly give them a shout and play them again. I've got an awful lot of games I haven't played all the way through yet. I've got other games like Cyberpunk where I've gone most of the way through the game, haven't quite finished it. Got other games like Grim Dawn that I've played to absolute death over the years, and I'm looking forward to the next expansion being released. Anyway, that's enough for now. Have a good evening, see you later.